Well, if you'd have looked perhaps a couple of weeks ago or towards the start of this campaign, it looked like Ebrahim Raisi was going to put up quite a tough challenge to President Hassan Rouhani. Ebrahim Raisi seems to be gathering quite a storm. Of course, at the start of the campaign, he was actually relatively unknown. But then the support of the conservative, obviously very powerful factions here in Iran seemed to gather him support. And also, he was quite clever to use economic populism to attempt to gather the support of the have-nots, especially here in Tehran. So people who perhaps thought that things like the nuclear deal would improve the economy, and for them, they feel that it hasn't. So they were encouraged when Raisi came out and said things like he was going to provide them with 1 million new jobs every year and other economic incentives. But Rouhani also had some tricks up his sleeve. He decided to attack Raisi on terms like human rights and freedoms. And of course, Raisi had a history in the 1980s in the judiciary and was involved in a number of executions that Rouhani actually came out and effectively criticized him for, and also broke several taboos, things that have never really been criticized in the Islamic Republic openly by a political leader like Rouhani before, such as criticizing the Revolutionary Guards. And so that criticism and that breaking of taboo seems to have galvanized a certain segment of Iranian society who perhaps weren't certain of whether they were going to come out and cast a vote at all, because a lot of them felt that, well, does it really matter? And it seems that Rouhani's rhetoric, especially over the last few weeks, has galvanized them, brought them out, they've cast their support, and we've seen that in the high turnout.
What exactly has the response been to this outcome? Are people essentially respecting the will of the electorate here?
So, sorry, can you repeat that question?
I'm just curious to know, now that the results are in and Rouhani has been declared the victor, what exactly is the reaction on the streets? Are Iranians respecting this decision for another term under Rouhani?
Yeah, well, I mean, considering the number of votes Rouhani has got, and it's been officially confirmed now, you know, this is something that at least the Iranian streets, or the majority of it, will be quite happy about. We've heard several cars come past us just in our live point here, chanting Rouhani's name, and of course over the last few days we've seen people going out to the streets in support of Rouhani. So it was clear that he was quite popular, and even when he came out to vote on Friday at Husseiniya Irshad, where we were, there were mass cheers when Rouhani emerged to cast his vote. So he's quite clearly a popular politician. Now, there haven't been any big shows of support, no rallies thus far. That may come later in the day, perhaps. But of course, you've got the other side, Raisi's supporters. Now, the Raisi supporting newspapers have come out and they've said that congratulations to Rouhani, they accept the decision. So it looks like this is going to be accepted by all sides, despite some comments on Friday from some of the Raisi camp about electoral irregularities. But it looks like this is going to be accepted by all sides. And of course, for elements within the conservative establishment, although their candidate perhaps hasn't been selected, this is also, in a way, a victory for them. Because of the high turnout, they can now claim that, well, this shows that most or the majority of Iranians are happy with the ruling system here. They're happy to continue working within the ruling system. And that's how they'll try and spin it, as almost another pledge of allegiance by the Iranian people to the Islamic Republic. Of course, some of the voters, especially some of the ones that we met actually, were saying, well, we're actually not here to legitimize what they called the regime, but we're there to vote for Rouhani against Raisi. So different interpretations there, but it looks like everyone can come out of it in some way happy.
Abubakr, as always, excellent reporting live from Tehran. Thank you for that.